The reticulated python Malaya Python reticulatus is a species of snake in the family Pythonidae. The species is native to South Asia and Southeast Asia. It is the world's longest snake and listed as least concern on the UCAN Red List because of its wide distribution. In several range countries, it is hunted for its skin, for use in traditional medicine, and for sale as a pet. It is an excellent swimmer, has been reported far out at sea and has colonized many small islands within its range. It is among the 3 heaviest snakes. Like all pythons, it is a non-venomous constrictor. People have been killed and in at least 2 reported cases, eaten by reticulated pythons. Taxonomy. The reticulated python was first described in 1801 by German naturalist Johann Gottlieb Thenis Schneider, who described 2 zoological specimens held by the Göttingen Museum in 1801 that differed slightly in color and pattern as separate species, Boa reticulata and Boa rhombeata. The specific name, reticulatus, is Latin meaning net-like, or reticulated, and is a reference to the complex color pattern. The generic name python was proposed by French naturalist François-Marie Dodin in 1803. American zoologist Arnold G. Kludge performed a cladistics analysis on morphological characters and recovered the reticulated python lineage as sister to the genus Python, hence not requiring a new generic name in 1993. Raymond Hoser erected the genus for the reticulated python in 2004, naming it after German snake expert Stefan Broghammer, on the basis of dorsal patterns distinct from those of the genus Python, and a dark mid-dorsal line from the rear to the front of the head, and red or orange rather than brown iris color. Reynolds and colleagues subsequently described the genus Malaya python for this species and its sister species, the Timor python, calling the Timor python M. timoriensis. Description. The reticulated python has smooth dorsal scales that are arranged in 69 to 79 rows at mid-body. Deep pits occur on 4 anterior upper labials, on 2 or 3 anterior lower labials, and on 5 or 6 posterior lower labials. The reticulated python is the largest snake native to Asia. More than 1,000 wild reticulated pythons in southern Sumatra were studied and estimated to have a length range of 1.5 to 6.5 meters and a weight range of 1 to 75 kilograms. Reticulated pythons with lengths more than 6 meters are rare, though according to the Guinness Book of World Records, it is the only extant snake to regularly exceed that length. One of the largest scientifically measured specimens, from Balikpapan, East Kalimantan, Indonesia, was measured under anesthesia at 6.95 meters and weighed 59 kilograms after not having eaten for nearly 3 months. The specimen once widely accepted as the largest ever accurately measured snake, that being Colossus, a specimen kept at the Highland Park Zoo in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Because of these issues, a 2012 journal article concluded, Colossus was neither the longest snake nor the heaviest snake ever maintained in captivity. Too large to be preserved with formaldehyde and then stored in alcohol, the specimen was instead prepared as a disarticulated skeleton. The hide was sent to a laboratory to be tanned, but it was either lost or destroyed, and now only the skull and selected vertebrae and ribs remain in the museum's collection. Biometrics. The color pattern is a complex geometric pattern that incorporates different colors. The back typically has a series of irregular diamond shapes flanked by smaller markings with light centers. In this species-wide geographic range, much variation of size, color, and markings commonly occurs. In zoo exhibits, the color pattern may seem garish, but in a shadowy jungle environment amid fallen leaves and debris, it allows them to virtually disappear. Called disruptive coloration, it protects them from predators and helps them to catch their prey. The huge size and attractive pattern of this snake has made it a favorite zoo exhibit, with several individuals claimed to be above 20 feet in length and more than one claimed to be the largest in captivity. However, due to its huge size, immense strength, aggressive disposition, and the mobility of the skin relative to the body, it is very difficult to get exact length measurements of a living reticulated python, and weights are rarely indicative, as captive pythons are often obese. Dwarf forms of reticulated pythons also occur from some islands northwest of Australia, and these are being selectively bred in captivity to be much smaller, resulting in animals often referred to as superdwarfs. Adult superdwarf reticulated pythons are typically between 1.82 and 2.4 meters in length. Distribution and habitat. The reticulated python is found in South Asia from the Nicobar Islands, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore, east through Indonesia and the Indo-Australian archipelago, Sumatra, the Mentawai Islands, the Natuna Islands, Borneo, Sulawesi, Java, Lombok, Sumbawa, Sumba, Flores, Timor, Maluku, Tanimbar Islands, and the Philippines, Basilan, Bohol, Cebu, Leyte, Luzon, Mindanao, Mindoro, Negros, Palawan, Panay, Palillo, Samar, Tawi-Tawi. The original description does not include a type locality. The type locality was restricted to Java by Brongasma in 1972. 3 subspecies have been proposed, but are not recognized in the integrated taxonomic information system. The color and size can vary a great deal among the subspecies described. Geographical location is a good key to establishing the subspecies, as each one has a distinct geographical range. The reticulated python lives in rainforests, woodlands, and nearby grasslands. It is also associated with rivers and is found in areas with nearby streams and lakes. It is said to have been common even in busy parts of Bangkok, sometimes eating domestic animals. Diet and water. A reticulated python's diet consists of frozen thawed rats, mice and rabbits. When small and young, the python will be eating frozen mice roughly once a week. The size of the prey increases as the snake gets bigger, moving from small mice up through XL mice to rats and eventually a rabbit. When fully grown, the snake only needs to be fed a large meal once every 4 to 6 weeks. Water should always be available for both drinking and bathing. To achieve this, we provide a bowl large enough for the snake to submerge itself inside on the cool end of the vivarium. Water should be changed daily to ensure it remains fresh. Near human habitation, it is known to snatch stray chickens, cats, and dogs on occasion. Among the largest documented prey items are a half-starved sun bear of 23 kilograms that was eaten by a 6.95 meters specimen and took some 10 weeks to digest. At least one case is reported of a foraging python entering a forest hut and taking a child. Reproduction. The reticulated python is oviparous. Adult females lay between 15 and 80 eggs per clutch. At an optimum incubation temperature of 31 to 32 degrees Celsius, the eggs take an average of 88 days to hatch. Hatchlings are at least 61 centimeters in length. Breeding. If you keep a male and female together, they may breed. You do not need to do anything to encourage this, providing they are healthy and the conditions are good. It will happen naturally. You need to consider whether you want this to happen. What will you do with the babies if you incubate the eggs? A gravid female should have access to a nesting box to lay her eggs. The box should be large enough that she can fully turn around inside it. We use moss to keep the box moist and humid. The eggs should be incubated in an incubator at 84 of. We incubate our eggs in sealed boxes on a moisture-rich substrate such as hatchite to trap the humidity around the eggs. After approximately 60 days the eggs will start to hatch. The first babies to emerge will encourage the rest of the eggs to hatch. Decoration. Whilst any loose substrate has the small potential to be accidentally swallowed, we have found this to not be a problem with coarse beech wood chips, and that is what we keep our reticulated pythons on. It is also very easy to clean. It is essential to decorate a reticulated python's vivarium and provide a couple of hiding areas. This will help the python feel more secure and also allow it to use the entirety of its enclosure confidently. The vivarium should be decorated with various pieces of wood and artificial plants to achieve this. A juvenile reticulated python's enclosure can also include some vertical structure, as they will climb if given the opportunity. These vertical structures are best created using natural wood decorations and vines. danger to humans. The reticulated python is among the few snakes that prey on humans. Attacks on humans are not common, but this species has been responsible for several reported human fatalities, in both the wild and captivity. Considering the known maximum prey size, a full-grown reticulated python can open its jaws wide enough to swallow a human, but the width of the shoulders of some adult Homo sapiens can pose a problem for even a snake with sufficient size. Reports of human fatalities and human consumption. The latest examples of consumption of an adult human being well authenticated include: in early 20th century Indonesia, on Salababu Island, North Sulawesi, a 14-year-old boy was killed and supposedly eaten by a specimen 5.17 meters in length. Another incident involved a woman reputedly eaten by a large reticulated python, but few details are known. In October 2008, a 25-year-old woman appeared to have been killed by a 13-foot pet reticulated python. The apparent cause of death was asphyxiation. The snake was later found in the bedroom in an agitated state. As a pet. Increased popularity of the reticulated python in the pet trade is due largely to increased efforts in captive breeding and selectively bred mutations such as the albino and tiger strains. It can make a good captive, but keepers should have previous experience with large constrictors to ensure safety to both animal and keeper. Although its interactivity and beauty draws much attention, some feel it is unpredictable. It does not attack humans by nature, but will bite and possibly constrict if it feels threatened, or mistakes a hand for food. While not venomous, large pythons can inflict serious injuries, sometimes requiring stitches.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment on what would you like to see next. And don't forget to subscribe. Animal Facts 101.